Hi, my name is Rene Corado. I am a biologist and also a writer, author of the book Ilustrador. I am a collections manager in the Western Foundation of Bird Zoology. It's a museum in Camarillo. Bird Museum is the largest egg bird collection in the world. We have over 1 million eggs, and so we have also the largest nest collection in the world, 20,000 nests. So recently I wrote my book Ilustrador, that is a book in Spanish. It's my autobiography. So it's a book to trying to inspire the immigrant community and the community in general, and to accomplish their dreams, and so they can see that in this book that I start with zero, and I what I accomplish is what they can see, that every dream is possible. I was born in a little village in Guatemala, and the little village only have 13 houses, and I thought that was the only world that exists, because in those houses we didn't have any electricity, any running water, and so our water was from the river, a largest river that passed by through that valley. And at the age of 8, my parents moved the whole family to Guatemala City, because it was a really wild village in there, and so they want the kids to grow up in a safe place. So they thought, and so they brought us to Guatemala City. That it really was, for me, was crazy, because I didn't know that another world exists. I thought that only the village, only my cousins, only the 13 houses, that was the whole world. I never seen cars before. I never seen electricity before. I never seen women with pants, with short hair, with makeup, and for me that was crazy. And also the fact that when I went to the little market, and there they sell the chickens, and they sell the papayas and the mangoes, and so while in my little village every fruit was free, and chickens, they were traded with honey or with cheese. So because we were so poor, and we were 9 in total, 6 siblings, and my parents. And so I decided to do shoe shine, and so my dad built a box for me to do the shoe shine. And so in the streets, I was abused with a lot of people, but with other people trying to help me. They were the nice people in there. Usually, I did my shoe shine in bars before, where the prostitutes in there, they were really nice with me, and so I think they were looking at their own son in there, because they were mothers, and so they trying to help me, but there were a lot of bad people in there, criminals, and there that were the boyfriends of these prostitutes. And but the bars were a good source of money, because so when the guys were drunk, and so they paid me a little bit more money. And in order to help in the house, also I asked for the leftovers. Also I knock doors in there and asking for shoes to shine. So I have the leftovers to take to my siblings, and so sometimes when they didn't give me enough food for my siblings, I have to go with other Shushan boys to the local trash, the trash place in there, where we can find good pieces of avocado or papaya or of other fruits that we find in there. In order to do that, also we had to fight with the dogs in there, and they were looking for food, and sometimes that was a good fight, and but I survived. I wonder about the dogs, if they're still alive. And that's the shoe shine start after I went to school in the morning. I finished about 12, 12:30, and then I went to do the shoeshine work. And I finished when it was dark, and I'm talking about 7 or 8 o'clock at night when I come home. Then I decide to do other work, or I have the chance to do other works after I finish the sixth grade in the school. So they give me a job in a newspaper as a janitor and the errand boy. And so there I learned how to do books, and so that was some of my dreams when I see these people, these authors, these writers, when they went there to see how their book was doing, and I see them so happy, like that was their baby. So I one day I said, you know what? I wish I can do a book. I write a book when I grow up. And also, when I did Shoe Shine, I remember when the people they travel around the world, and they were talking with each other. Then they traveled to Mexico, California, Spain, and all of those places that I only saw in magazine, because I love to read since I was a kid. So those were some of my dreams: travel, write a book, be a journalist. So Guatemala had about 35 years of civil war. So I was part of the newspaper, and being part of the newspaper, that was the group that the government hit very hard: the newspaper, the journalists, and the students. So after some encounters with the military and there in the newspaper and the guerrilla also, so I decided to move my family to California. I I tried several times to cross the border, because and I couldn't have any immigration paper, because the government didn't give you any visa, or you couldn't go because the government was checking on you. So finally, in 1981, I crossed to United States. But before that, I failed another cross, and so they put me in prison in Mexico for a month. And so just because I didn't have the money to pay the police, the Mexican police in there. So I was in prison in there, Mexico, for about a month with the worst criminals, and I was with assassins and rapists and other bad people in there. I never been in prison before, so I didn't know how prison was. But then I survived, so I made it back to Guatemala, and then in 1981 that I moved, I was able to cross the border. I came in here to United States with no family. I didn't know anybody. I I didn't speak English, and with a sixth grade only, and so really I didn't have a schooling. So I work in all kind of works, painter, welder, I clean houses, I put roofs, and I was a gardener, and I was a chef. I was a cook, a Greek cook. I don't like that much on a Greek food, but I did that too. So when I start as a gardener in a museum, and so somebody find me that job. So I went there, being a gardener, being the janitor in that museum, and the Western Foundation of Bird Zoology, and I saw the biologists that they're working in conservation. And I loved the work they did, and I thought they were good people who really did good things for the planet. And so I said, as my other dream, that was another dream, and I want to be a biologist. But I only have the sixth grade, and so the owner of the museum, and saw my interest, and to seeing how these people, they were dissecting birds, doing taxidermies, and go in the field doing conservation work. And so he asked me, and I said, "Do you like birds?" And he said, "Yeah, I love birds." And I said, "You want to be a biologist?" And I said, "Yeah, I really want to be a biologist." And I said, "But I don't have any schooling." And he said, "No problem." And so we can fix that. And so you can go probably in school at night. So no, sometime you can go on the day and then work in the weekends in here to make the time. And so that's how I start. And I'm going first to learn English and I take in order to take regular classes. And then I took the regular classes, and then I decided to study biology. So that young man that started in 1982, I think I started in that museum, that I was the gardener, now is the collection manager, is the guy. I am in charge now of the museum, so I work very hard for that. I'm so happy that now I'm able to even give classes to about conservation, about ornithology, and the kid that have the dreams to travel. Now I travel to the places that I have the dream. When I was a kid, I went to Spain and Ireland, England, Mexico, Costa Rica, Ecuador, and so I've been working in the jungles of in the Amazon jungles since 1980s. Also in the waterfalls in Costa Rica. Also I was working in there, and in the Amazon, helicopter took me with another biologist, and they dropped me in the middle of nowhere, in the middle of the Amazon, where we survived for 3 months at a time, and then we come back to California another 3 months, and so we worked several years like that. So that's my work as a biologist, and so then one time that I was traveling to one of these ornithologist meeting to Louisiana, my partner, Dr. Hall, that she is the executive director of the museum, she was with me, but it was a really big storm, and so I thought really that the plane will crash. And so I was so scared that I started talking with Dr. Hall, and I was telling her about my life, because nobody knew. My kids didn't know, my wife didn't know, and so how my life was in the streets. And so I decided to tell her in case the plane crashed and so one of us survived, so somebody else knew how my life was. So when I told her, and so she told me, and I said, "Look, you have a really good story in your life. You should write this story. You should put it in a book, in order to your children and also other people from your country, or Latinos, and or people in general, and know that there is hope, that the dreams can they can come true." So that's how I start the dream about writing my book. I call the book Ilustrador, and I wrote the book in Spanish, Ilustrador, the Shushan boy, because it's my life and how I made it. And so I decided to do it in Spanish. It's for the newcomers, and so they can see that is hope that they can do it in this country. Because I came with nothing, with zero. Now I am a citizen of 2 countries. I'm American citizen and Guatemala citizen. And now, thanks to the that hoping that my dream come true, now I can have this interview in English also, because I am bilingual also. And so I am so happy that I was able to publish. This is the book, Ilustrador. And so now I am working with a group of newcomer children. They go to the museum, and so some teachers in the school here in Oxnard, they find out about my book, and they said, you know what, you can be a role model for these kids, and so you can be the introduction for them to the new society, where so that way they don't feel afraid, they feel identified with you, so they can do whatever they want in here. And so that's how we are doing with a local schooling here, and bringing these kids to the museum. Uh, they already were there two times, two trips, and it's gonna be a third time where I'm gonna meet with them in their school, and then we gonna go and watch birds, and I'm gonna kind of, they have an idea what a biologist is, and then I will go to give a talk in the gym, and then now my hope is to continue with this adventure of telling the people that the dreams can come true. And so I want to give talks in schools, college, or any community center, any place I can give talks. And so hoping that they can read my book, and so they can see that any dream can come true. And so that is what I'm planning to do. Yeah. So that's what I am promoting my book. Now, also in Guatemala, the plans for the books are to probably to put it as a lecture in the schools in there, and in some colleges in Guatemala. I'm lucky because I have the support of the press, and so they're helping me with this new adventure. And so because they see that we need to believe that the dreams can come true. I have a lot of people who write to me every week in my Facebook page, because I have a Facebook, and also my book Ilustrador also has its own page. But the people write to me, like this young man, 24-year-old, and so he was telling me that his life wasn't worth anything. And I started writing to him, and I said, why not? And I said, because nobody cares about my life. And so I keep writing to him, and then he said, you know what, and now my life really is start changing, because you wrote back to me. You care about what I'm thinking, what I'm trying to do. And so I keep writing to him, and so now that young man, and he is writing poetry, and so I see his poems in Facebook, and he keep writing to me, and so how with a little hope how his life changed. And other people, I'm telling them that the key for that door of success is there. I assure you that the key is there, and it's like you don't find it now because probably it's in the dark, but it's in that room. I cannot give you my key, because my key is not going to open your door, the door of your life, the door of your dreams. But you can find it. It's not, let's don't expect that it's going to be right now, that you're going to get all the success, but you can have it. Because if this person who eat from the trash, this person who have to fight with the dogs in the street in order to survive, has to I had to move 2 hours from the little village to the city, and there to the city to United States. So if I did that, and so anybody can do it. I'm closing the circle in my life. Like I came out of that little village, and now 30-something years later, I am going back. I have a bird project in Guatemala that I started in 2001, where I did a census of all the birds of Guatemala. I am giving workshops, and there give biology classes to the Guatemalan biology students. I take them to the field to identify birds, to band birds. So we're making more biologists in there in Guatemala. And now I have a project in my own village. I am in there with a project where, with the river, the large river, where I used to play in there. I used to get fish from there. That river, they make a sewer. So from Guatemala City, they throw all the trash in that river. And so now I start a campaign where I want to clean the river. And because that river, people are still eating fish from that river. And the kid who was in the street, and then in Guatemala, last November, I was in Guatemala. I was invited to Congress, and I was invited to have a cup of coffee with the Speaker of the House. And it's not that amazing. And so in my book, and here in my book, there is me, the little kid, and then there's the Palacio Nacional, the National Palace in there. So I used to do the shoe shine in this parking here. And so, but I never was able to go even very close to the door of that palace. Last year, I was invited to go inside to have a TV interview in there. And so, and that I can say that it really is amazing that how life is turning, and when you really want it. So what I'm interested in now is really in education. What I want to do is well, help not only the kids in Guatemala but in here to be interested in conservation, interested in birds, how important the birds are. And so that is the main things I'm working right now. And part of the sale of the money for the sale of this book, I am putting them toward the education of children in Guatemala and the little villages in there. So I am sponsoring children. So actually the books is helping these kids in there, and I'm giving the opportunity that I didn't have. And so I hope that the other people do the same. I hope this book sell more to in order to be able to have more kids. I hope that every kid in the school in here get this book and be able to read this book in order to get inspired and to see that they can accomplish this dream also. So I hope to find any way or any grant or anything in order to distribute this book for the schools or for the public in general, and find a places or platform where I can tell you about the book, tell you that everything is possible, that the sky is the limit, because we can do it. We have so much potential, and so that is what I'm working in it right now. Most of my work or my community work I was doing with communities in Los Angeles, working with Guatemalan communities in there, working with some Mayan groups in there. But now I found out that there are some groups in here in Oxnard where I can work with. Working with a nice person here in Cafe One, Armando Vasquez and David DeBris, that they're working with the community, and I hope to continue with them, and I hope that to reach this community of Oxnard, that I'm sure that there are a lot of writers in there, a lot of biologists in there, so I can see how we can work all together in order to get out that biologist and get out that writer, that poet, that journalist, whatever you want to do, And so I hope I can be there. I hope that I can give a hand, because I say that the journey with the hand of somebody else is easier. I have it hard. I really have to suffer a lot, but other people don't have to suffer if they can, if they ask for help and if they ask for a hand. I hope that one day I can have the little foundation. So I hope that you visit the museum and there in Camarillo. This is an amazing museum that is not only for researchers, but also is for the artists, for the people who care about the planet, about the conservation. So you can go to the museum, you can talk to me in there, and so I speak Spanish, and so you can we can do the work in Spanish, or you have any questions, and so you can call me, and so my phone number is 805-336-4289, or go to my webpage that is at www.ellustrador, that is ELLUSTRADOR.org, and so you can see what my projects are there, and so and please, if you have any questions, just let me know. I really I don't want to hold all what I learned, and so I wanna share it, and so as I said, I will be around and in Oxnard, and so hoping that I will be. You want to invite me in any events, and so just let me know, and I will be really happy to share what I'm sharing in here or more, and so that is my goal now, to give what it was given to me, and so if I can be of help, and I just ask that Illustrador is there, and remember, this is the book, Illustrador, and so also I wish I can find a bookstore where I can sell this book. If you know place, so please give me a call, and or visit my my webpage, Illustrador, ELLUSTRADOR.org. And so thank you for your attention. Thank you for watching this video. Thank you for considering one of these days and go and listen to my talk. And so I can do the talks in Spanish, I can do the talks in English, or both, or Spanglish, however you want it. So that is my dream, and now to transmit the message that the dreams can come true, and the sky is the limit, because I did it. I am really happy to this country to gave me the opportunity to be a citizen of here. Thank you.